Hi, welcome back. We are in part 3 of GST configuration. In the previous session, we already started getting involved with practicals. We have created enterprise structure and customer, and we have created plans. And let's try to understand in this session. So when you try to determine tax determination between your plant and your customer, or else your vendor and your plant for purchasing activities, both inbound and outbound, so there should be some configurations required to get implement GST. Okay, so like in this section, so like for example, if your plant is belongs to the same state and customer is belongs to the same state, as I told that our goal is CGST, SGST determine. IGST is for interstate, different state scenario, or plant and customer got separated in different state. Okay, and union territory in the similar fashion, and exports. Okay, so now see this GSTN number. Okay, like if you legally, if you'd like to operate a business in India, either factory or shop or else any establishment, you call it as technically, you required a registration number. Nowadays, if you see last few years, if you go to any shop, they are displaying their GSTN number. That means they are legally binded to do the business in that location or across the location by using the GSTN number. The government has an identification and rule to display the GSTN number every organization, so that so it is GSTN registered and non-registered will be there. Okay, companies. Now if you look at here, GST first you try to, so when you would like to do the business, so like you have a company code and you have plant associated. When you are taking the goods from that place to another place, either within the state or outside of the state, for that place to get identified legally, you require a GST number. You look at this, the first, it is actually 15 digits code, out of which first 2 digit state code. Okay, like see in our example in 10, probably government is identified Karnataka as some other code. So in our SAP system regularly before GST it is 01. Actually GST is identified by whatever the code they identified. That code need to be configured. You know how GST number you are getting from your customers to maintain a master data. Don't worry about this thing. Okay, so like you have a GST number, so that means plant is holding GST number and your customer is holding GST number. It is happening the transaction between two GST numbers legally. So like the tax determination, if you see this state code, if it is Karnataka, as per our current example 10 or 01, it can be anything, and the PAN number of that particular institution or customer, and the single digit enter number of the same PAN holder. For every state you have a number. This is basically 2 digit code that you have to do it, and G is default alphabet defaulted, and this is some digit number also will be there that you have to maintain. If you look at here, single registration for CGST, SGST, IGST, you will have, for example, your plant is located that has that company code has that registration number. Okay, that registration number you can able to do within the state or outside of the state. Based on that, these taxes will be applicable: central state tax or state goods, goods and service tax, or integrated goods and service tax. PAN has been registered 15 length, as I explained. Multiple business places must be created as per the region of the operation. The relevant plant must be assigned to the corresponding business place and region wise, and a new field will be provided to store the GSN number in business. Don't worry, this is theory. I will explain you what is the business place. So basically what happens, your this is the configuration, the place where you have to do it. So basically what happens, your plants, what I would say, your plants, and for example you have a company code and it has a plants in Karnataka, Maharashtra, Gujarat, Punjab, Andhra Pradesh, Telangana. You will have different plants, right? Different places. So like so for example your plant is Karnataka, so the plant can be associated, plant can be linked with your company code, right? In your FI side. So that means in FI side, you are going to determine your tax, right? So that should be identified by the business place for tax purposes. I will tell you best example. So for example, you have in IT company, you have for example, if you take Wipro, they have 3 towers in the same place. Okay. So 3 towers, that means they are selling the services. Like goods, they are selling the services. So within the state, for their customer, they are selling the services, and outside of the state, exports also, they're selling the services. But in this 3 towers, one tower has the separate GST number because that is SEZ. SEZ means generally your tax will be 0. I'm telling you, my friends. Otherwise, that means they have to file a taxation, but they need not pay a single penny, or else they can recollect it back. That is a different story. So, like, if it is non-SEZ, then they have to pay the tax. That is different as per the service. In the similar way, for goods also, like, based on the purpose, they have to identify. For example, so they identified. For example, you will have, for example, Hero Honda company. You take Hero, like, not Hero Honda, now it is Hero itself. So now Hero, they are selling their regular bikes, as well as now they are entering into Harley Davidson with collaboration, so that when they are collaborated with foreign company, when they're selling that bike, so both are get involved for whatever the parts it's manufactured properly. Some parts may be belongs to different states and different what I would say foreign collaboration, then you definitely probably require different GST number. Like that, I'm just telling an example. SEZ one example, this is one example. So that you required a business place, your business place uniquely identified with certain GST number to perform the operation. That means, so when you got a customer order, when you are leaving the goods from the plant, the GST number is identified. Your plant is linked with that particular business place and company code combination, so that the GST number is X from Karnataka, for example. First 2 digits is state code, right? Karnataka. So then from here, the goods are moving to within the state, so Mangalore or some other place, then this is fine. The tax is different, CGST, SGST. Then this is the same good is going to other state, Telangana, as per our current example, what we are going to try. So then your IGST will be applicable. If it is foreign, then bond and non-bond scenarios will be there. I don't want to go to the depth actually. Let's try to configure this one. Okay, this is like a dummy GSTN. Actually GSTN number, if you want it that has a certain processes, better go to the clear tax or some other places. If real GSTN number, we're not going to apply the GSTN number for our company. Just by using the GSTN number in SAP, we will try to map the scenario to apply the taxes on sales orders or purchase order cycle. Okay, while purchasing, let's try to get into the SAP system. Now if you look at here, okay, cross applications. Okay, in this you go to general applications. I already gave the slide. You can see this is the business place. Okay, so first thing is this, you just observe whether it is activated or not. Okay, your business place for India, it is activated in this practice system. Then someone has tried previously, or else you just click the new entries and enter the country and activation. Now let's go to the business places. This is important. Let's get into this. And before going that, let's try to see some help so that you will have some idea about it. So now you can see this. See the same thing, right? Business place, code for name of the business place, company, and what is the tax number, and 2 ID. Okay, so this one. Okay, same thing it talks about. There is nothing much to discuss. So SAP help, never rely on that. They don't give more information. We'll have more information being consultants. Actually, this is unfortunate. This is done by SAP folks, but we don't have more information. Okay, so before configuration, and so let me try to enter to SAP. Okay. So if you are not yet subscribed, please subscribe my channel. Currently I'm holding 4,000 students. So this is my valuable content to SAP future aspirants. If you are not yet introduced to real time, it just try to get into this, getting master to write functional specification. This will definitely give an edge to prepare for business document preparation in your real time before your entry. So what you have to do is you have a template here irrespective of any module. Okay, this is for enhancement, support enhancement projects. It is required you try this. And I have a lot of other courses, extensive courses available for SD consultants, including S4 HANA few topics. If you can see this idocs, if you wanted to get prepared, you can prepare for yourself. And this is for shipping and learning for transportation and SD logistics. And if you want ECC basics and business processes, a lot of stuff is available at my end. And this is my SD Prime course, currently 95 hours. I'm trying to add these videos also over there, apart from our regular content. And I'll try to keep on update my courses. If you have doubts, you can able to reach either Udemy forum or else here. I'm available here. If you are weak in pricing, you try some courses like here, SAP SD pricing concepts. And this is the course, top course, and this is advanced level. I'm recommending to do this course, and generally prices will be low. Some deals will happen, you observe in a week, and you try to get into these topics. I think it's not a big deal. Now let's get into the actual topic where you're supposed to have a discussion. So let's try to define the business place. Okay, IN66 is my company code. Okay, I'm linking. So identifying in a SAP system, actually my business place. If it is TVS Motors, then TVS Motors. If it is Hero Motors, then Hero Motors. If it is Unilever, then Unilever. If it is some other kind of Honeywell, then Honeywell. FMCG, then FMCG. Any other client for that matters. Now, if you see, he has given sample, right? Okay, so if you check here, you can able to see this. This is the business place. It is got created. So by default, I copied. Then it is get copied. Okay, let me try to go to. So someone has defined this one. You can select this. So you can able to see this. This is how. Okay. So VAT or something someone has created. And again, let's try to select this. Okay, this is how. So now we'll try to do one thing. Let's try to create our own business place. So business place also IN66. Okay, business place. For you can define n number of in real time. You're supposed to define also. Okay, so see all this information. If you would like to fill, you can able to fill it. Okay, this is information purpose, like state tax number and municipal tax number, and you can able to see this if it is something relevant to hazardous or dangerous relevant materials. Some segregation is there or else. Okay, so like based on sensitivity, and you can able to define here. Okay, so business place. So you can define anything. So for this, I'm defining for you have to give your address. I'm just giving Bharat, and this is also located in Bangalore. Okay, Karnataka. So let's try to get into this one, and the state code is this one. So here also, if some additional info is there that you can able to fill, it's always helpful to you. Okay. Okay. So signer of tax invoice number or something, some number if you want, you can display. So all these fields, it can be useful. Okay. when you would like to print out in certain format, and as well as it has its own purpose, depends on like the industry where you GST implementing. So business places you can assign to sales offices. As of now, I'm not trying that concept. Assign to places to plant. Most of the times it is what it happens, but offices also it do happens. You believe me or not? Because if it is service industry, then why you want plant will be dummy, right? Your office has certain validity. Okay, so let's go. Our plant IN61. Okay, so this is the company code. Let me try to expand this if possible. Okay, you can see this, right? You have two plants. Okay, now let's try to take your IN66. Okay, we have assigned. Let's go back. For this company code. Okay, this is how you can able to define GST number, sorry, business place. And let's try to check now for our customer. So for business place, generally we will assign a tax registration number. So let's try to go to this customization. This is one of the transaction because it is not full-fledged SAP notes implemented system, but I'm telling the process for you how the tax will be determined. For example, if you see this, not a physical, this is the place also, actually three places in FI side, all these are FI people will be defined, financial, or else we can also define. Okay, now you can see this define business places. Okay, so this is the place where it's supposed to come your GST and number to enter into the field actually. Okay, anyhow, tax region, if all these are the additional things. So like electronically, suppose if you would like to do configuration, like if you are sending data to from one system to another system, generally we don't involve, FI people will involve. So for this business place configuration, all these kind of things you can able to find in real time only about business place. So now let's get into quickly XD03. Okay, so let's take, so our customer, first customer is this customer. Okay, so this guy, and we have two customers. So let's try to go to this one, and you can see this tax 3 number. This guy belongs to, okay, 10. So I'm just maintaining like this some kind of okay, assume that this is the tax number for him. Okay, so assume that the transaction is happening. So let's see the actual tax configuration that is more important for SD. So let's try to go to another customer also. So this is other than Karnataka customer. Okay, you can take any state. Initially I discussed about Hyderabad. So like my plant is located in Karnataka. I'm just trying to do this one. So maybe Maharashtra, this is 13 the code. So like this is something I'm just changing. See, this is dummy system, right? I can take. Okay, assume that this is the PAN number. This is not actual PAN number. This is a dummy number. Okay, let me on the light. So for both the configurations, we have assigned this. Probably next session we'll catch up and we'll try to do some FI configurations. So that is very, very important. And after that we'll do SD. I'm sorry, SD configurations also. Let's catch up in next session. So next session, don't miss. It is going to be more interesting session. And this GST number, it is happening in between two numbers, right? So our target is to determine the tax. So assume that, while filing these numbers, it is required actually. And your tax invoice generation. So let's try to catch up in next session. Okay. So okay. So finally, what I want to say is, so GST number is important, and you have, it is happening two numbers. So the prime number is actually, actual criteria. If it is happening, this number, source number and target number, in between it is happening, legally binding. So like, tax should be applied. For example, state, it is 5% and central, other state, like it is 12%, then, it should, it should be, it should be in a position to, determine the taxes accordingly, CGST, SGST and IGST. So, okay, let's catch up in next session. I wish you all the best. Jai Hind. Have a great day. Jai Bharat.